welcome back to our channel. I'm really excited to share this episode with you all. It's been so fun researching, writing, and editing this video. I've learned so much along the way. There are some topics that we have already mastered, and then lastly, we will get to a topic that I don't necessarily agree with, but I'm keeping an open mind about it. So definitely stay till the very end because I need to hear from all of my fellow dog owners before I make the decision. But let's get into the absolute joy that dogs bring us when we play. Dogs and people aren't like most other animals. Most animals play when they are young, and gradually as they age, they lose that joyful activity from their life. I can think of only a few who do love to play, like pandas and sea otters. It even brings us joy watching these animals play. But typically, as most animals age, their play decreases until it ceases altogether. But not for humans and dogs. We both retain our playful nature into adulthood and even as seniors. Most adult dogs love to play games well into their mature years. Whether it's fetch, hide and seek, play wrestling, chewing on their favorite toys, I honestly sometimes feel like Willa enjoys being mischievous too. And we are right there with her every step of the way, throwing the ball, hiding in the closet, wrestling, holding her toy in place so she gets the best chew, and laughing at her funny ways. And even as adults, we play our own games too. Cards, sports, video games, Lego. It's no wonder dogs and humans' bonds are so incredibly strong because we both just absolutely love playing together. Typically traits that are associated to the young. If you think about it, play defines youth more than any other activity. How we grow up affects how we play in the context of nature versus nurture. Do you get along well with other kids? Are you super competitive? Are you athletic? Are you not athletic at all? Do you prefer gaming online with friends? You can see how you were raised with play can affect who you are today. So what about your pup? Did you socialize her? Did you give her lots of toys? Did you let him do whatever he wants, or were you a strict parent? It's called the critical period and is just as important for humans as it is for dogs. Imagine a puppy mill or a pet store puppy, or those dogs rescued from terrible homes where they are tied to a chain their entire life. They sit alone all day or stuffed tight with their litter mates, never potty trained or given toys or taught how to play fetch until you adopt them months or even years later. They may have a complete lack of interest in play or even chewing on toys. Dogs raised in complete absence of any environmental stimuli often develop into adults who won't play with any object, even balls or bones. It is so heartbreaking to think about, but that is only because we know exactly how bonding and absolutely fun that play can be, especially for kids and puppies, as well as the adults. Willa brings me so much joy while playing. I find myself bursting out laughing, something I used to do a lot more when I was younger. With age comes work, stress, and anxiety, but when I'm playing with Willa, none of that matters, you know? I'm 100% living in the moment with her, and I'm enjoying every single second. The bottom line, playing with Willa is a massive boost to both of our mental health. It grows our bond, and honestly, it's just fun. If you are interested in some of our favorite games and what we love to play, please go watch my indoor games and the best outdoor games to play with your pup to watch some of these beautiful moments between us. Willa also loves keep away, as I'm sure most dogs do too. Dogs are masters at staying just far enough out of reach so that you can't catch them, but close enough that they keep you engaged in the game. They aren't doing this as a way of defying you, although it might feel like that. They're just playing a game that they play with other dogs and that they'd like to play with you. If you are having trouble with your dog not bringing the ball back to you during fetch, I have a couple of tips for you. Start with young dogs by throwing the ball a short distance away. Most people who are starting out just throw the ball too far for most dogs to stay focused on the game. Don't throw it too many times, 2 or 3 is enough. After you throw the ball, wait until your pup has the ball in their mouth. Move away from the ball, clapping and kissing to attract your pup to your direction. If you walk towards your pup, you're initiating a chase or keep away game, so make sure that you're walking in the opposite direction or at least your body facing the opposite direction. If you're lucky, your pup will come right to you with the ball, but more than likely your pup will drop the ball about 5 feet away from you, or your pup will drop the ball immediately and come running after you. Willa sometimes does this too, losing interest in the ball altogether. If your pup drops it still a distance away from you, walk up slowly, even turn sideways slightly, pick it up and throw it again immediately, or even try throwing a second ball as soon as they drop the first. Willa loves playing fetch, but she's still a work in progress, so be patient and remember that you are the one training your dog. Don't let your dog train you on how they want to play chase instead of fetch. So these are instructions for if you're learning how to play fetch. For Willa, she knows her commands, so we just command her to come with the ball, out to drop the ball, and then leave, or leave it to leave the ball on the ground, and then we pick up the ball. If she is kind of pouncing around and she won't come close, then we work on the walking in the other direction, and that typically works for her to come. Okay, and lastly, I need to talk about play wrestling or rough and tumble play. This was probably my biggest learning because this is an interesting one for me. Surprisingly, I love play wrestling with Willa. It's a daily activity for us, and my boyfriend actually never does. I've seen those funny Instagram videos where the dog is calling dad because mom doesn't know how to wrestle like dad does. And I'm like, what the heck? Why doesn't my boyfriend want to? So while I was reading these multiple books about how to train a dog, specifically The Other End of the Leash, the author, who is a dog trainer, states, quote, "I can think of 2 cases in 13 years out of about 4,000 cases in which the woman loved to play wrestle and the man didn't," end quote. And that's me, which that's a crazy statistic. So she then says, quote, "but all dogs love it," end quote. I also really like getting on the floor and playing with her, so we typically play lots of games over the course of the day and the night. But what I really want to talk about here is the fact that the author of this book then explains how she feels that all wrestle play should be eliminated from human-dog relationships. The reason being that it is dangerous and that some cases have gone terribly wrong. The argument is that the fight is not well matched. There is a reason why weight classes are created in boxing matches. Our weight, though heavier than most dogs are all muscle, teeth, their reflexes are faster. Humans grab with our hands and dogs grab with their mouths. We have arms to push away and dogs have their mouths to bite. If a human bit another human, it would be shocking. But if a dog nips at another dog during a play fight, it's part of the match. Dogs' mouths were designed to rip the open flesh of their kill. And unfortunately, in an instant, things can change. One tiny mistake in the fight can switch it from play to real for a dog. They are not common because dogs and humans both self-handicap for a more enjoyable play. I noticed this when Willa uses her mouth around my arm. She never bites down. And she did the same with Gumbo, and she did the same with Jack Jack. It's fun, and she doesn't take it too far, ever. A dog's ability to control the pressure of their jaw, even when they're excited, is amazing, but that doesn't change the fact that the power of the jaw could do some serious harm. The author of this book advises to stop play fighting. That's it. No adjusting, no advice, just stopping. So of course, with all my new learnings, I talk to my partner about them, and he says, well, aren't you going to stop? which is why I started out this story at the beginning by saying that I'm the one who loves to play. Is he so easy to give it up because he's fairly disinterested in the game anyway? Or is it that easy and I need to just give up on one of my favorite games with my little girl? To be fair, Willa doesn't have to give it up. She can still play fight with other dogs in a well-matched fight. It is me who has to give it up. So I'd really appreciate some advice on this one from the dog parents who really love to play wrestle with their pups and those whose views align with the author and my partner. Please let me know in the comments. I definitely need to think on this one. Okay, that's all that I have for you for this week's episode. I absolutely love writing and creating this one, so please let me know if you like this style of video and you want to see more. As always, thanks so much for tuning into this week's video, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Yeah.